But AJ, you are, I mean, from the beginning, you you were kind of involved in the development of the timetable and of, ticket sales and kind of making sure fans get in seats and there are great sessions for them to see. So, talk to us a little bit about how that timetable has shaped up now. What can we see when, and what are ticket sales saying the majority of people are looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, so generically, right, we have 16 sessions over the 10 days at Hayward Field, 6 morning sessions and 10 evening sessions, and across nearly every session, a championship gold will be won, right? Mm-hmm. So no matter whether you're there on day 1 or day 10, you're going to have an opportunity to see someone feel the glory, right?
Mm-hmm. Good job. Way to drop the tagline in there.
Thank goodness you're sitting where you're sitting right now. And, we think there are so many opportunities. I mean, that first day, as, all this youth and community focus is going into the opening session, July 15th, that morning. There's so many awesome events happening, as well as so much activation happening to welcome the world, right, to the championships, right? And then that opening night session is going to be the first chance Americans can potentially win some gold. Yeah. I mean, talk about what a way to start it all off. And then each of those sessions, those first weekends, right? You have 100-meter finals on Saturday, I believe. And then, the sprint sessions is that first weekend, which is going to be super awesome. And then when you think about, the different theme days and goals that we're trying to accommodate, right? Monday, July 18th is the Women in the Spotlight Day, where it's all women's competing, which is
women
fantastic.
Competing, women announcing, women
got women performers out there. Exactly. We're going to have live painters. We're going to have animation across the board. That's going to be awesome. Yeah. Right?
And that's one of the things I think that we said from the beginning. One of our big strategic initiatives is drive change.
Yep.
And at this time, it's crazy because with everything that's happened over the last 2 years, I think everyone's kind of stopped to ask themselves, what can we do? And there's this weird conflict almost between what's performative and what's substantive. And sometimes you just have to do something, right? Yep. And I think with the Women in the Spotlight, we have said we're just gonna do what we can to make sure that from the people on the field of play to the people in the announcer's booth and on cameras, behind cameras, we're just going to take it there, right? And do something. And I'm proud of us for that.
Yeah. I mean, the opportunities between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m., right?
Yeah.
Is focused on that day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we've had a focused mission, which I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I say 6 a.m. because there's a marathon that happens that morning, the women's marathon, which is free and open, right? And there's no tickets necessary to go out and engage that as it's running through Eugene and Springfield. But, I mean, that was curated for that specific reason too, right?
And it's and I just want to dispel this rumor that I hear around town all the time, which is I can't get tickets, which is not the case, right?
Right. I mean, there are ways to engage with this event for free, right, across the board. There are youth tickets that are $10 that are out there as well. But yeah, I mean, all the road races, the race walks, happening in front of Autzen Stadium on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, right? Those are all free. And then the men's and the women's marathon, which is July 17th, the men's, and July 18th, women's, and Spotlight Day, the women's. Those are free too. And for many people, it's going to run right in their backyard. They actually don't have to get in their car to go see it, right? How awesome is that?
Why not?
Why not bring your coffee, make some banana bread, make a couple signs, and cheer on, 80 of the world's best runners. Running through Eugene and Springfield.
And there's going to be a cohort of runners running on the 17th morning as well.
Yeah, good part. Nicely done. Yeah. I mean, that is a pretty awesome opportunity if you want to share.
The A6 Uplift 5K is an opportunity for local runners or statewide runners or anybody that's in town for the event to have the opportunity to register to run a 5K on a portion of the marathon course.
You actually start and finish at the same start and finish as the championship runners.
Yeah, and it's the same morning as the men's races.
The gun will go off, the men's will run literally 2 minutes later.
So you're going to see everyone right there
right there. You're going to be lining up with the championship runners, right?
Awesome.
I was trying to curate my schedule to make time for that run, but unfortunately
I haven't made enough time to practice running to be able to do that run at the morning.
It's a little bit early for me. But it's amazing that this is almost here, and it's incredible to think about, what it means for Eugene Springfield, what it means for Oregon, really what having this event in the U.S. means for the sport, right?
Yeah.
As we move towards LA 2028, which is the first, domestic Olympic Games since Atlanta, we have kind of this cool opportunity, responsibility to really bring track and field into focus. We all know it's one of the top 3 Olympic sports anyway, right? From a visibility and a viewership standpoint, but to have a chance to really galvanize the running community and to create this platform where everyone from brands to runners to coaches and athletes can really kind of begin to build towards LA 2028, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Olympics are coming to our backyard.
Yeah.
In a way, right?
Mm-hmm. And I think we've done our part by bringing one of the top 3 Olympic sports to our backyard as well.
Every day a little bit closer to that, right?
We've started the conversations for sure, whether it's, out on the ground through some of my work with youth engagement or just in my personal circles and networks. For anybody that didn't know what World Athletics Championships was, who's close to me, now they've heard my spiel more times than they needed to, and they know, but they're making the connection to the Olympics. It's always the question, okay, so then what's next? Olympics. I think we're really creating the foundation for something very exciting.
And I think what kind of drew me to it, I came from outside the sport as well, but you can really see yourself and your community in the sport, right? I've thrown a rock from time to time. Like I ran around the track, in school, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, I get that, right? They're doing it so much better, right? There's so much, I personally believe track and field has so much more relatability than some of the other sports that I've been a part of in the past. Yeah,
no, it definitely has. So as we move ever so swiftly towards that first day, I know, like, okay, quick fire. Alex, what is the moment that you're looking forward to, or when it's really going to hit you that, man, this is happening?
For me, I think it's going to happen really fast on day 1. My first assignment to check off the list happens really that first morning, and that is the finale of the Worldwide Welcome Youth Relay. So we're working to get thousands of kids into the stadium that morning, and 200-ish youth representatives will actually take part in an activation on the track during that opening session, where they serve as flag bearers for the nations that we are welcoming just before we launch competition officially. So I already have the goosebump feeling about how
for sure
wonderful
that's gonna be your
it will
moment
be to give them the go signal and see it happen. And there's a lot of other stuff we have to execute then for 10 days after that. My job is not over on session 1, unfortunately.
That is going to be such a special moment, though.
But yeah, I know that's when I'll get the most emotional, probably.
Yeah. What about you, AJ? What are you looking forward to?
Oh, man. There's so much I'm looking forward to. I mean, we've been having conversations with all these different local participations and ways for them to access and benefit off of, the championships coming here, and then being able to see the food vendors be able to share their meals, the animators, the entertainers, right? The local people who have helped us kind of create and talk about this dream of a citywide activation. I think probably after 2 days of that happening, it's going to be like, wow, it's so awesome. I'm just so excited to hear the feedback of people, not only when they come to Hayward Field and see the incredible sport, but like talk about their experience. Right. And I think we'll start to hear that pretty quickly with all the work that's been done.
I think so. I think it's going to get real for me when my first bag of pole vault poles is lost somewhere out there in the international skies. And someone on my staff spends days searching for it.
You have athletes coming to the village here a couple days, right? I mean, they're showing up in no time.
Yeah, the 10th. We start receiving people on the 10th. And actually that, in all honesty, is when it's real, is when people start to unload from those buses and you see the bags and the faces and all of the different, international team kits, and you realize that this thing is happening. I mean, I think that's when I
Is there room
really
service to their rooms in the athlete village?
There are rooms and there are services, but there is no room service.
Okay.
No.
Just curious.
Thanks so much for just talking it up, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't get the chance to do this anymore. We're so operational now that we don't spend as
In the
much
weeds,
time
yeah.
talking about the stuff that motivates us, that brought us here, that gets us excited. But I'm thrilled to be working with you. And honestly, we do have a really, really strong team.
Mm-hmm.
I confession, have already started missing not working with everyone anymore.
Yeah.
It's just my personality. I'll work on that. But I'm excited that I get to deliver this with you guys, and super excited that we got to spend some time here on Sport Oregon Voices, letting everybody else know about World Athletics Championships Oregon22. And I want to thank each of you for joining us on this very first episode of Sport Oregon Voices. We hope to see you down here in Tracktown, USA. You can get your tickets at AJ.
WorldChampsOregon22.com. Yeah.
Don't listen to anyone who tells you there's no more tickets. There are definitely tickets. And we'd love to see you back here on Sport Oregon Voices for another episode in a couple weeks. It's not always going to be this dapper crowd that you've got here today, but it always will be fun and informative. So we hope to see you then.